Hey guys, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a different kind of video, so it's the start of a new series that I'm going to call Skincare Sundays. So every Sunday I'm going to be uploading a skincare related video, whether it be a review or just like an informative kind of video. So today I'm doing like a Mythbusters kind of video. So I've compiled probably the 12 most popular or common myths that I hear in the industry, you know, that clients tell me, and I'm just kind of like, I just want to shed some light on a few topics that people, you know, there's a bit of a grey area or people aren't totally sure of what the answer might be and why they're myths and why they're not facts. So if you think that sounds interesting, keep watching and we'll get straight into it. Myth number one. I hear clients tell me so often that they don't get burned or tanned when they're wearing a fake tan or a spray tan. This one's definitely a myth because there is no SPF in spray tan or fake tan that you buy in a bottle, which means there is nothing protecting you from those sun rays. Another argument is, well, it technically gives me a base tan for my holidays, or if you go and hit the beach, gives you a base tan and that's why you don't get burnt. In reality, that's not true, because the way you tan out in the sun, it has a different chemical reaction to the way you tan from a bottle or a spray tan machine. So it doesn't actually protect you from the sun's rays at all. Always be careful, even if you've got spray tan or fake tan, or make sure that you are wearing an SPF if you don't want to get burnt. Myth number two. This one's a really common misconception. A lot of people think that if you have oily skin that you don't need to moisturize. It's actually quite the opposite. Sounds really weird, but you know, because you've got oily skin, you think that there's already so much oil on there, it's already feeling so, you know, thick and sticky, so why would I need to moisturize? A lot of skins that tend to be oily actually overproduce oil because the skin is thirsty for water. So in a moisturizer, usually your common moisturizer is, I don't know, 50% water, 50% oil. They're very different things. So you can have dehydrated oily skin, which means you've definitely got enough oil on your skin, but you don't have enough water. For an oily skin, I would say get an oil-free moisturizer. That way your skin's still getting that nice drink of water that it needs. Also, you'll probably find if you do start using an oil-free moisturizer that your skin tends to be less oily. The skin gets confused if it's dehydrated. It thinks that it's dry, so it's gonna keep making more oil. That's a really hard one to explain. I actually have a video just solely on the difference between like dehydration and dry, or like why your oily skin sometimes feels tight. I'll link that in the description box below. But just for a simple answer, oily skin does need to moisturize. Just make sure that you're using oil-free moisturizer. Myth number three, this one is another SPF related myth. A lot of people think that if your makeup has SPF in it, that you don't need to wear sunscreen. This one's really confusing because, yeah, why on earth would you need to wear sunscreen if you've got SPF in your foundation or your powder? The amount of powder or foundation that the regular person puts on their face isn't enough. Like if you wanted to get the SPF 15 protection that it says on the bottle, you would have to actually apply like 14 to 15 times the amount that a normal person would normally put on their face. So it's really not doing much at all. You'd have to use way more than what is normal. Usually I just finish off my skincare routine, pop an SPF over the top, and then put my makeup over the SPF. Myth number four, it's better to squeeze your pimples than to just leave them. You know, like it'll make them go away faster if you squeeze them. Now this one, I'm guilty of this one. Sometimes it actually can help them go away faster, but you usually get like a nasty scab or a little scar afterwards. So when you squeeze a pimple, I've got one on my cheek right now, it's a freaking mountain. When you squeeze a pimple, like you're really doing this action, the pus that's in the pimple, you know how sometimes it comes out if you're squeezing it, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's just blood. The freaky thing about it is sometimes when you're putting that pressure around the pimple, rather than the pus and stuff coming out of it, it goes actually inside your skin. And that's why sometimes you might have an area on your face where you get like a recurring pimple. I know I have one here, and that's because the bacteria has actually leaked into that pore or that follicle, and every time it gets inflamed, it's going to come up as a pimple again. So a better way is you can put like drawing cream on it. I know there's a lot of clay masks out at the moment that are really good. Even sometimes I use toothpaste. It just kind of draws everything to the top and dries it out, and then usually the head, it kind of hardens and it's not like, yeah, it's not disgusting. Myth number 5 is a pretty sad one. I hear a lot of people say, I don't have good skin because I don't have enough money, you know, like I can't afford these high-end brands that everyone uses to get the good results. A lot of the time with high-end brands, you're paying for the name, the brand name, and you're paying for the packaging. If you look at the ingredients on the back of, you know, like a Clarins or Clinique bottle, you'll see the ingredients, and you can usually go to a drugstore and find, I wouldn't go for like the cheapest one in the drugstore, try and find like a higher end drugstore product, and you can often find really similar ingredients in them. If you're talking about organic products, you can get amazing organic products from the drugstore as well. Like I think Sukin is a really good one. Just stay away from your Cetaphils and your Proactive, all that kind of stuff. Like steer real clear of those. But you don't have to fork out a lot of cash really, and there are a lot of websites as well that you can get them at more of a wholesale price. I never ever buy my skincare in a salon or a shop like Mecca or Sephora, because you can often find them cheaper on a different kind of wholesale website. Just make sure that it is legit, because otherwise people can just put whatever in whatever kind of bottle and say it's a certain product, but it's not always going to be. Myth number 6 is about pores. Brands will kind of say, this product's going to shrink your pores. Unfortunately, nothing can really do that permanently. You can definitely get products that shrink them temporarily, but your pores don't actually have muscles, so they can't open and close. Obviously, like if you're hot, or if you put like a hot towel or some steam on your face, your pores will expand a little bit, and then when that hot towel's gone, they'll, you know, shrink back to their normal size. Otherwise, things, they're called astringents. It's products that can kind of tighten your skin. They will definitely have a tightening effect on your pores so that your oil flow isn't as heavy, but no product out there unfortunately can permanently shrink your pores, which sucks because everyone with oily skin would have their problems solved if we could shrink our pores. Myth number 7 is about genetics. I hear a lot of girls say, my skin's going to be great because my mum's is really good right now. Or vice versa, my skin's going to be really wrinkly because my mum's is really wrinkly. This one isn't necessarily true. Genetics do have a play in your skin, but a lot of the time the main kind of deciders for what your skin looks like or what it's going to look like in the future are lifestyle factors. Things like drugs and alcohol, not drinking enough water, not looking after your skin with the right skincare, and biggest one is sun exposure. That is huge. That will age you like nothing else. Myth number 8 is one of the most common ones I hear ever, and that is chocolate makes you break out. My boyfriend's dad always tells me, he's like, don't eat too much chocolate, you're gonna get pimples. Like, mate, I have pimples all the time anyway, but... So there's no like direct correlation between chocolate and acne. There's nothing scientifically proven that that is a reason that you get acne. Definitely though, high fat and high sugar diets can cause hormone changes, and then that can cause acne, but not just like, don't eat that chocolate bar, otherwise you're gonna get 5 pimples. It's not really like that. Myth number 9 is about natural and organic products. A lot of clients in places that I've worked have said that they don't like to put chemicals and very potent or active ingredients on their skin. They would rather use organic or natural products, which is fair enough, but they don't ever really work better than a more active or results-driven skincare line would. A natural or organic line's great for young skin, or it's great for normal skin that doesn't have any problems. Even combination skin, just to keep it kind of equalized, it's great. But if you've got an issue that you want to target, whether it be aging or acne, you'd probably want to go for a skincare line that is specifically targeted to treat that issue, because an all-round natural organic brand isn't really going to do much for you. But otherwise, if you've just got normal skin, it's great. Myth number 10, this isn't really about skin, it's more about hair. I hear a lot of people say shaving makes your hair grow back thicker. This isn't actually true. The reason why it feels like that is because when you're shaving, you're cutting the hair off at its thickest point, so the base, the bit where the hair meets the skin. So obviously when it grows and it starts coming back through the skin, that base of the hair is going to become the end of the hair, so the hair is going to be the same thickness the whole way through. It's not going to be nice and tapered off like a hair would be if it was waxed off and then grew back in, if that makes sense. So it's basically just like an illusion. It's not that the hair's actually growing back thicker, it's just the way that it's been cut. Myth number 11 just kills me. A lot of clients say I don't need to look after my skin at home because I get facials once a month. This one sounds so ridiculous to me because I just feel like that's like going to a PT, personal trainer, once a month and then not doing any exercise or not eating healthy at home, but still expecting results. If you get a facial once a month, that's amazing. But if you had to choose between a skincare routine that you do at home and a facial once a month, I would always say do your skincare routine at home and just miss out on the facials. A facial is really good if you've got issues that you want to target, or if you just like that monthly refresher to do the stuff that you can't do at home. That's great, but definitely keep doing what you're doing at home, because otherwise the results that you get from the facial, they're going to last 2 or 3 days and then that's it. So always use skincare at home. And last but not least, myth number 12. This one is about brands telling you that you're going to get the best results if you use all the products from the same line. This is just not true. An amazing product is an amazing product. It doesn't really matter what you use it with. So if you can't afford a high-end cleanser, but you can afford a high-end moisturizer, that's great. You can use a drugstore cleanser and then a high-end moisturizer. That's totally fine. It's more important that you're actually doing all the steps, you know, like cleansing, exfoliating and moisturizing, than getting 3 really expensive products from the same line. It really doesn't matter. I only have like 2 products from the same line and then everything else is just from everywhere. It just honestly doesn't matter. As long as it targets the issue that you've got, that's totally fine. Doesn't matter which brand you get it from. Okay guys, that's the end of today's video. I hope that I helped at least one of you out. I don't know what this is going to be like to watch because I'm so freaking tired of my own voice and I already know I'm just dreading editing this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions that you'd like me to answer, or if you've got any suggestions for any of my other Skincare Sunday videos. But anyway, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will see you next week for a couple more videos. Thanks for watching guys. Mwah.